What's up YouTube, this is GalacticGod. I'm coming at you now with another video to talk about the October 1st, 2014 ban list. Now in particular in this video I would like to talk about some of the cards that did not make it off the forbidden list, starting off with Cholula. Now this card has been available over in the OCG for quite a few formats now, and as a lot of you guys might suspect, it has not been wreaking the amount of havoc. Now no one is denying that Cholula is definitely a very powerful card, but integrating it into a lot of the current decks in the format is not so easily done. So in my opinion, at best, Cholula will mostly help a lot of the tier 2 or lower decks. And if the worst case scenario to Cholula coming back to the TCG is that some tier 2 or lower decks might make it up to tier 1 status, I don't think that's a good enough reason to keep it off the list. So up next is Cybersign. This card has also been released off of the OCG list for a long time. In fact, you can now have 3 copies of Cybersign in your deck over in the OCG. But how many can you have over here in the TCG? 0. Obviously, Cybersign is not as broken or as busted as it once was when it was first released over here in the TCG many years ago, with the Cybersign OTK being so improbable because of the amount of hand traps and monster effect negations that are at our disposal, plus the idea of having to clear the back row out before you can even use the effect is a lot harder to do these days, with Heavy Storm and Giant Grenade both being placed on the forbidden list. What this tells me is that the Cybersign OTK is definitely not a threat to anything in the current meta, and Cybersign should at least be allowed to come off at 1 to see what kind of impact it would have on the game over here in the TCG. Next up, Windup Carrier Mighty. Now when Windups ruled the TCG, I could not wait until Carrier made it on the ban list. I think I threw a party the day that it finally ended up there because I felt it was the final nail in the coffin to Windups, and essentially it kind of was. Windups really haven't done that much in any format since that time. But the game has evolved and changed greatly since those days. And more I just think to myself that Windups, even with Ones of Mighty, would not be too broken that we would not be able to combat it in the current game. One card that I was super surprised that did not make it off the list this time was Dark Strike Fighter. Not only has the card been errata, but I would think it would be only natural for him to finally get a reprint in the Legendary Collection 5Ds, and bringing him off of the list at this time, so close to when Legendary Collection 5Ds is going to be released to help the sales of that product, it only made sense. I really thought the Dark Strike Fighter was finally going to come off of the list this time. Plus the fact that it's done nothing over in Japan should clearly show that the TCG can handle Dark Strike Fighter being returned to us. Finally, we come to the big question on so many TCG players' minds, and that is, why is Stratos still on the ban list? It has never been placed on the forbidden list over in the OCG. They still have access to him there, even with all the new hero support, which we don't even have in the TCG, which just makes him being placed on the ban list that much more questionable. And it just seems that format after format after format, hero players keep getting their hopes up, possibly in vain, that Konami will release Stratos off of the TCG ban list. Don't worry Stratos, maybe January is really more of your month. So some of you guys might have noticed a trend for the cards that I picked in this video. All of them are readily available to the OCG players. Yet, us duelists over here in the TCG still have them all placed on our forbidden list. So, in the comment section below, let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Do you think these cards are still too OP, too broken to be brought back to us and they should remain on the list indefinitely? Or do you think, like myself, that it's time for these cards to be returned to us, that we can use them once again in duels? And I guess that's it for now. This is GalacticGod.